Basics of Quality Control PDCA Plan, Do, Check, Act and DMAIC Define, Measure, Analyze, Improve and Control. So first we'll take a look at PDCA Plan, Do, Check, Act. PDCA or the Plan, Do, Check, Act cycle of invention is from Deming, also called as Shewhart cycle, is the product of statistical quality control. PDCA is also considered as the basis of Toyota Production System or TPS, and it is also the foundation of Kurt Levin's force field analysis, where he explains the fundamentals of unfreezing, changing and refreezing, a concept well known in the field of organizational change. The basics of PDCA cycle is dealt as follows. First is plan. While doing planning, customer needs are first taken into account. Then the basic problems or concerns are addressed while implementing the PDCA Act. Objectives are also set in such a manner that it is the end result of a cycle of careful evaluations, hypothesis testing, deviation analysis, and remedy. Afterwards, a working plan is drafted and presented to the upper management. Data collection and a detailed study follows where each and every aspect of the planning stage is presented, justified, and necessary approvals are taken. If there is any pitfalls, a root cause analysis or RCA is employed in finding out the system anomalies. Necessary training is also made effective to the workforce in technology, which needs to be embraced in change management efficiency, which needs to be acquired. Next is do. The tabled and approved plan is brought to implementation stage in this step. It is normally about carrying forward the improvement sought after and is usually in a testing phase. Next is check. In this phase, quite often than not, the following question is asked: whether the objectives are ever met as a result of the plan, which is now under implementation. Root causes are reviewed in such a manner that it confirms the results by virtue of a B versus C analysis, considering beta and alpha risks. There is also organization of a review meeting where whatever was learned is tabled, as well as what could be learned better if the implementation is again attempted. A later prognosis may reveal whether the problem taken up for resolution as part of the implementation of a plan is completely solved. The last one is act. In this cycle, action comes as the last step where the improvements are further identified as to do item and new standards are written and well adopted. Requirements, if anything is missing, is again communicated, and throughout this step, communication remains the key factor, sending communication to everyone concerned, including people working in the bounds of the program. Prevention as a precaution is addressed, and so is addressed recurrence prevention, making the system more capable in terms of people and processes. The next step of the PDCA may be SDCA, where the thrust is given to standardize, do, check, and act steps. In this cycle, stabilization is the key before any improvement-seeking steps are implemented, or if there is existence of change variation. DMAIC, define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. Even though there is no one-to-one mapping from PDCA to DMAIC, DMAIC has developed on the basis of an elaborate planning stage. In this section, a detailed look at the different steps of DMAIC is undertaken with explanations on some of the core concepts. First is define. Definition of the problem. In this stage of DMAIC, there exist sub-stages where the scope of the project is studied in detail, as well as any opportunities that may come in the way when the project is ideally defined for action and activities. It is highly encouraged the use and emphasis on Pareto analysis as well as doing cost of quality analysis during this stage of project development. Customer priorities are revisited and adoption of the mantra SMART, which is simple, measurable, agreed to, realistic, and time-based, is common throughout this stage of the project development. Project also is considered as part of the process being developed and not within the bounds of a department, with accurately scoped out boundary conditions as well as importance given to system thinking. Next is measure. The sub-stages in this step of DMAIC is analysis of the problem process and fixation or definition of the outcomes that are often treated as targets or goals to be achieved as a result of the measurement activity. DPMO or defects per million opportunities defined as part of Six Sigma is used extensively in the measurement activity in this stage of project development, and so also quantitative measures are taken as opposed to qualitative measures during this stage of the DMAIC. The measurements taken lays out the sources wherefrom the data is collected and measured and make sure the matrices that are developed as a result of measurement is part of a sampling plan. Few factors are also important in this stage of DMAIC, namely reliability as well as validity. Whereas reliability measures confirms the fact whether another observer may measure the same results, validity confirms whether the measurement values are lead values among a population or a lead indicator amongst a statistical dispersion. Next is analyze, which mostly defines a root cause analysis. This substage reveals what has gone wrong in DMAIC. Numerous tools are used in DMAIC, notably Six Sigma, process mapping tools such as creative thinking, benchmarking, QFD, design of experiments, value analysis, etc. The next step is improve, which is improving upon solutions or fixes to the rescue. During this stage, one provides a fix to whatever has gone wrong. The substages to this stage is in DMAIC is prioritize and refine the problem or issue in such a manner that a root cause analysis reveals the fundamental problem in the system, prompting an immediate effort taken in this case for an effective fix or solution to the problem. Tools used in this stage involves mostly project management tools as well as Kaizen, where the implementation of the solution is done using force field analysis with the team involvement until the fix is made permanent. The last step is control. This is placing control within the project process for better statistical control of the project process. During this stage of DMAIC, appropriate controls are placed within the project process so that verification and measurement of the key values becomes easier and repetitions of the measurement becomes simple in the follow-through. Statistical process control charts are increasingly used at this stage of DMAIC, where setup is done for new standard operating procedures. Gains are measured whether to be real by cross-checking with the gains obtained in the previous or old processes. Thank you.